Yeah, I want to relate something. This is actually a few years ago or so. I came across and something I was dealing with pretty, well, actually very closely. A lot of people out there are pretty much into the Jewish conspiracy theories. All right. Anyway, this guy was, he actually was a rabbi, but in a way he wasn't a rabbi. Let me relate this because this guy, what he really was, he never really got slammed enough. I don't know. I don't understand how this guy gets over, but his name was a real. I know the names. I'm very familiar with this stuff. He changed his name too. He changed it to like a very Jewish sounding name. He's not in the United States. He's not in Israel. Actually, he's north of the United States, so that gives you an idea of what country he's from. But he's gone around and made a lot of deals with people in the financial area, and basically just walked off with a lot of money, a hell of a lot, like $1.5 million was one of them, and all that other shit. And I guess I shouldn't relay what exactly too much because I don't want to get in trouble with this shit. But it's real, man, and I'm not kidding you. His name actually was like a real plain sounding name, and a little bit different first name, but real simple, And he changed it to like a very Jewish name, became Jewish, and then he became a rabbi, and he's doing business, walking around in like the full garb, beard, the whole thing, like he's a rabbi. He is a rabbi, but he's not. That's the way I look at it. He really isn't, because he only got into that because it was like a good front for him. A lot of times you'll see a lot of people do that in religion. Not a lot, but a good amount of them. They'll become pastors and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know how many people he must have ran into that he did something financially with that just knew him as a rabbi and not known his background. Like, I know what his background is. I'm like the super sleuth, man. I mean, that's really, but, the guy, I suspected this guy big time right from the beginning. But, who the hell, who am I? Don't listen to me. But, if he ripped me off, I would have got him, man. I would have got that piece of shit. He didn't rip me off. So, but the thing is, I don't know how, you see, that's the thing with anti-Semitism. You don't even know who the hell you're dealing with, and all the rumors out there. I read all the freaking Jewish conspiracy theories. Sometimes like I'll say, you could tell I'm not exactly like pro-Jewish either, but I don't buy what's going on even on the internet now, because I've read all Jewish conspiracy theories about the New World Order. This is the Protocols of Zion, which somebody probably wrote in the Talmud at one point in time who were pissed off or something. And to tell you the truth, Jews don't even read all that stuff, man. Like, a lot of times they'll be like, that's old shit, They don't even care, man. Christmas, freaking, I don't know. I don't want to make any judgments on anything, but sometimes I realize the internet is gone. They should always have freedom of speech, but there's a lot of wacky shit on the internet, man. Big time. Big time. It's like, and the other thing is, you can bring out facts and still be wrong in your conclusion. Because, like, if I want, like, communists have their propaganda too. Like when Mayo say, when he had the worst, if you had like the big gulag times under Stalin or something, or Mao Zedong with his, purge and everything, if you were like somebody writing a history of these people and you want to just bring out only the good stuff they did, well, yeah, or even like Adolf Hitler showing him kissing babies and, hi, children, oh, here's some flowers and shit, right? You can make anybody look like the best person in the world. On the converse, you can pick out every single thing there is about that a person did bad, and they can generally be a very good person. And it's almost like, I almost compare it to like, driving down the street. How many times does a person break the law when they're just driving from point A to point B? you know. But I mean, they didn't like run into a tree or something or go off the road and plow into somebody's house. But I mean, you know, they broke the law a bunch of times. You know, a lot of people just kind of do that. You know, it's kind of like run of the mill shit. But if you want to just emphasize only the bad, you can make anybody or any group of people look bad. Right now, it looks like the pendulum has kind of swung on the Jewish people. It's like before they couldn't do anything wrong. It was like so many years ago. It was like they're like everything they did was perfect, which isn't good that way either. And now it's like they're big conspirators of the New World Order. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's not true. Protocols of Zion. I don't even know if anybody wrote that shit or it's legit or what. And you know, actually, to tell you the truth, I think actually, if you look at some of the worst crimes in the world that's been around, you can talk about the communists, but you know, and I read, you know, there was Jewish communists and stuff, but you know, actually, if you look at some of the stuff that went on during the Inquisition, man, the religious of the Catholic or Christian ilk, man, they can be worse than anybody. You know, the Puritans and everything else. So, and actually, you know, some of these books I got back here, this one, there's like a 3-volume set on the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. You know, the historians like to always say, like, it's due to, like, the silver content of the coins going down to debase the currencies, why the decline happened. There was, like, barbarians attacking, and there was internal strife. Well, actually, a lot of that internal strife was actually from religious wars. You don't actually see that too much emphasized in history books, but actually it was religious wars between the Christian factions. Man, they would like kill each other over some crazy stuff, like disagreement about something in the Bible, whether it's the Trinity or it's the divinity, you know, and but they wouldn't fight for the Roman Empire. They wouldn't fight for their country. They'd be like clobbering each other over some religious pinpointing something. That they would do. That's why the Emperor Julian was persecuting him, because basically they were freaking going against Rome. And I almost kind of see that kind of stuff going on today a little bit. But anyway, you know, country first, man, and the Bill of Rights, that kind of stuff. But you know, Jews are not people behind the New World Order. That's bullshit. I know it is. I mean, yeah, I know Feinstein's a knucklehead, Chuck Schumer's a knucklehead, Bloomberg's a knucklehead. I got no good opinion of them, and they're Jewish. I think they're bad people too, but I don't think a Jews is bad, not at all. And this other guy I was talking about, he's not even Jewish, but I'm sure he probably ran into many. He's in business now, man. That's why I don't want to say shit. And I'm kind of revealing something here. Somebody in the know would know what I'm talking about, but. He's a work of art, but he only became a rabbi to make it look like he's got something there where you can trust him. That was the only reason he became a rabbi. He was not Jewish, born Jewish. He totally changed his name. But I can imagine how many people that ran into him and got burned by him financially. Not me, because I would have gotten him. And you know what? I don't think any other Jewish person would have been mad at me for getting that bastard back, because he's basically making it bad on Jews by smearing them, because he's walking around like a rabbi, which actually he is, but he became a rabbi only to be a scam artist in the financial world so people would trust him. Amazing, huh? True story, man. It's true, and it's actually going on right now. I actually try to set the shithead up with making a deal with some people in New York, because I know if they would have ripped him off, if they would have got ripped off, he'd have been done. So, that would have been nice. Because I don't like that guy anyway, you know, but he didn't rip me off. He didn't rip me off. But... And I knew what was going on pretty much from the beginning. I didn't know his whole background. I found out later on after he got the money and shit. Nothing was going on after that. You know, you never give out money first. That's one thing I always know, man. you got a contract with somebody, you make sure you never till it's complete. It's everything's done, the work's completed, and the funds go out. That's the way you work things. Actually, I want to point out another. See, I'm very well aware of like the Jewish conspiracy theories. Actually, there's one guy I know about. I put something out about Brother Nathaniel. That guy is a load of it, I think, to tell you the truth. But some people disagree with me. But he looks a little like a clown too, because he's got he's got this big giant oversized cross. He will push it out like this. He's got like one white glove, one black glove, and he never brings out anything bad about anybody else. It's only about Jewish people. That's his whole thing. That's all he does. And Rents is Rents.com, Jeff Rents, one of our alternative media gurus, constantly pushing his fantastic videos, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell's so fantastic about him. He's just knocking Jews. Because I never, the thing is, I suspect somebody when they do too one-sided, because if he was a real reformer or somebody cared about what was going on in the world, he'd really be hammering, like, say, the Chinese authorities. That's Chinese people. The Chinese authorities were actually using the Laogai system. Like, in other words, in China, for without a trial or nothing, just over a minor infraction, some bureaucrat accuses some bullshit. You go to jail, to work prison for 3 years, and they torture people if they don't work really hard or if they refuse to work hard. They torture the crap out of them. So where's Brother Nathaniel saying, he might point out that some Jewish businessman did business with the Chinese guy, but he would never say nothing about the Chinese guy that's running the system, the Chinese bureaucrat. He only points out that if somebody was making money from it somehow, that's what he would do. So he's a load of it. So, but the one guy probably, and actually, he used to be the real background of the Patriot movement, the militia movement, and all that type of stuff. Was Dr. William Pierce. He's dead, right? He died of a liver cancer. I kind of suspect he might have been murdered, maybe somehow. They might have gave him something so he had liver cancer. That's just my suspicion. But he was intelligent. But he only emphasized anti-Jewish facts. But he actually was bringing out facts. But like I said, you can make somebody look bad or good just by emphasizing only one part of what the aspect of that person is. Like if you went and said, Mao Zedong was doing all this good stuff, you show pictures of Adolf Hitler kissing children and babies and giving them flowers. I mean, yeah, sometimes he was like the worst people have nice moments, and vice versa, So it's like, a nice person could be mad sometimes too, or say something stupid, or not have a perfect aspect to them too. So, I mean, that's really the way, I see these, I'll call them I guess the word's really anti-Jewish, but, because, we're really talking about, well, I guess it's anti-Semitic is a proper word, but even when somebody like intelligent, he was intelligent, like Dr. William Pierce was bringing out facts. He's bringing out facts, but he's not bringing out the true picture. And, he used to be the one that was the strongest. And I'm going to say this. Just because I'm criticizing this real right-wing guy, I think he actually believed in his opinions. I think he believed in his opinions. But just because I'm criticizing him, that doesn't mean I agree with the Southern Poverty Law Center and other Morris D's jerk. I'm not left-leaning like that either. But I just have to say, is like a lot of the right-wing, extreme right-wing conspiracy theories about Jews are bullshit. And one thing I kept thinking about is this one work of art who's not, I don't really consider him Jewish. He is Jewish because he converted to Judaism, and he's a rabbi, but he did it for other reasons. It's almost like the same thing when you got like somebody decides to become a pastor because he's got a nice scam going. That's what happens. But I could imagine if You know, I've been pretty critical of Pastor Lindsey Williams, but if he was Rabbi Lindsey Williams, man, I bet you there'd be like a gazillion people against him big time. I mean, that's really the way it is. Jews are picked on minority, man. They are. And people got to exercise, you know, criticism's cool because, you know, the pendulum kind of goes one way or the other way. It probably used to be where they could do nothing wrong. Now it's like the whole world is, any problem in the world, oh, it's the Jews did it. It's bullshit. No, that ain't the freaking facts at all, man. No, not the facts at all. And to tell you the truth, I think if I was Jewish, man, I tell you one thing. I would not live in Israel. Not that I'm saying I dislike Israel or anything like that, but I don't think that place is safe long term. I don't think that place is safe. I believe in the United States. I'd stay here. Serious, man. I wouldn't go there, man. I think in the long term, the Jews are getting blamed for every damn thing, and they're getting set up. I know some people say that's written in the Bible, but I don't. That's really besides what I'm thinking. I could kind of see it. I think they're getting set up because there's too many Jewish conspiracy theories out there, and they seem to be coming from not. They're not actually coming from the right wing. They're feeding the right wing, and something else is behind it. That's what I'm suspecting. You know, there's a lot of garbage out there, and I don't trust it. So, for you semi-anti-Semites, whatever the hell you want to call it, just use a little common sense because, you know, I am not like a liberal, no way. I'm stick with the Bill of Rights. I think Feinstein is a total knucklehead. Chuck Schumer's a knucklehead. Mario Cuomo is not Jewish. He's a knucklehead. You know, I'm not going to kiss nobody's butt over nothing. But I'm telling you, like, Jews aren't they're not the New World Order. They're not. And all this crap these anti-Semites are coming out with left and right, it is a bunch of crap. But I just kept thinking about this one example of this idiot I ran into. Man, I imagine how many people must have gotten really mad at Jews in general that dealt with this guy. And he's not really Jewish. I don't consider him Jewish. He became Jewish, he became a rabbi because that was a nice angle for him when he's dealing with financial world and banking. So, I don't want to say who it is, but I think some people in the know might know who he is. But he's not in the United States. I'll say that. So, just be chilling out about some of these bullshit theories out there because I think there's a method to the madness. You know? Why are all these theories coming out? Yeah, they're true. They're semi-true. They're semi-true. It's almost like I said, you know, if you have facts and you say these facts it doesn't paint the whole picture. It's almost like, you know, if you had a scientific experiment, you want to prove something, and you throw out everything that doesn't fit the parameters you want to try to prove. That's how they're painting Jews. See? They're only showing you negative stuff. That's why they got the Anti-Defamation League. But so many people, you know, I don't know. Sometimes Jews are the worst enemies because they get so defensive. They overreact a little bit. I noticed that shit. You know, maybe I'm making a judgment call there, but I noticed that shit a little bit myself, and I'm thinking, man, so I'm putting something out because I ain't Jewish, and I'm not that religious at all. So, and I'm not gonna be Jewish because I'd probably be saying, you know, I wouldn't care about the wall. You know, I'd be like, that's old stuff. Let's get a new wall. That's the way I'd be thinking, right? So, I'd be in trouble right there with the holiest of the holies, right there. You know. Because, to tell you the truth, that's kind of how a lot of people, Jews, think today. You know, they're not that concerned about stuff like that. They're semi-concerned, but not super concerned. Just like regular good old Americans, you know what I mean? So, you know, watch the judgment calls. That's all I got to say. And some of these people, like that one I ran into, man. I don't know. He got. I mean, I guess legitimately he's a rabbi, but I don't consider him a rabbi. He just did that so he can get over in the business and financial world, so people can trust him. Just like some people go into the field and become pastors. You know, there's a few of them around. They do it in all religions. So just watch the judgment calls out there, because you know, I don't know. I am not very left leaning at all, but so I might disagree. I think Jews are probably in general more left leaning than me, but hey, you know, fair and square all the way around, man. Bill of Rights. You know, Bill of Rights is about the best thing you can stick with. It means everybody's got rights. Everybody. All.